philosophy is a journey that helps you unlock truths about yourself.
Yes.
On the base, anything which helps you unlock.
It helps you reflect a lot.
A truth about yourself, that is philosophy. Right, so can a fragrance unlock a truth about yourself? And an inward journey is a forever journey.
Yeah.
Right?
It just starts, it never
ending.
ends.
It is never ending.
You can only start it.
Right.
It never ends.
It never ends. And it can, at the age of 40, 50, 60, 80, you will still keep on discovering things about yourself.
It is endless.
Because you cannot say that, oh, I'm 60, I know everything about myself now. No, it doesn't happen. You're still discovering, you're still making mistakes, you're still like, oh, I didn't know I'm capable of this.
आज की हमारी गेस्ट हैं कस्तूर की फाउंडर मिस ईशा, जो इत्र को हमारे परफ्यूम इंडस्ट्री में रिवाइव कर रही हैं. हमने डिस्कस करा फिलॉसफी ऑफ फ्रेग्रेंस, इत्र का ओरिजिन एंड इत्र की हेरिटेज, हाउ इत्र इज सो इम्पैक्टफुल इन आवर डेली लाइफ एंड हाउ इत्र कैन बी यूज्ड एज अ टूल टू अपलिफ्ट योर मूड एंड वेल बीइंग. ये बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक है. प्लीज़ वॉच टिल द एंड एंड सब्सक्राइब अस फॉर मोर सच इंटरेस्टिंग कंटेंट. Welcome to our show, Isha. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for inviting me, Pranav. And I'm super stoked to be here.
Most welcome. And I would like to start by your journey and your story about Kastoor.
Right.
And in today's time when people think that Ittar is not cool, what excited you about it and what brought you so far?
Kastoor started 2 years before. And Kastoor actually comes from the word Kasturi, which means musk in Hindi.
Okay.
And musk is found in the navel of a deer. Okay. And the folklore is that the deer is so enchanted by the fragrance that it searches frantically a forest, not knowing that it's coming from itself.
Oh.
It's a doha written by Kabir Das. And we've used that as a metaphor that India has the most magnanimous of the scents.
Wow.
But we're still looking outside. We don't know that we are the creators of the world's most phenomenal scents.
We are sort of losing it. It faded.
Yeah. We are absolutely vegan and cruelty free, but we've used this this notion as a and we don't use musk at all in our fragrances.
Okay.
But we use this notion as kind of a metaphor in order to give out a message with our name itself. Okay. So it started 2 years before. I tell it to everybody, I was born in a garden because my dad is a botanist.
Oh wow.
And my mom is a philosopher. So it's a very unique combination, a combination that kind of...
It's quite unique actually.
Yeah, and the combination that you kind of see in Kastoor as well, because we blend the art of fragrances with storytelling, and especially Indian storytelling and the art of Indian fragrances. And also to top on that, I was born in Banaras, which is in UP.
Okay.
And this kind of perfumery, the perfumery I'm in, which is called Ittar making, it is the world's oldest, toughest, most sustainable form of perfumery.
Okay.
And it is hosted by UP.
Wow.
As a state. Now you will find Ittar artisans everywhere around India, because it is solely based on a river ecosystem. So wherever these are hydro-distilled scents. Okay. So wherever you will find riverbeds, so civilizations got
based,
settling
around.
Ittar artisans got based around that. But primarily it was UP, and especially Kannauj is the perfume capital of India.
Okay.
And not many people know that.
I didn't know.
And it's a small town. It's a perfume capital of India. The roses of Kannauj are extremely famous.
Oh wow.
And if you go to Lucknow or Kanpur or Banaras, you will find local gullies in which Ittar artisans are rested. And they are still continuing. It's a generational art, and the newer generation was kind of drifting away from this because the older generations were still carrying out, but they kind of, I think they stopped seeing the future in it.
And sort of there were a lot of things coming in also. At the same time, there were enough distractions and deviations to this.
And it is a kind of world which is so beautifully based in passion and intuition and emotion.
Yeah.
And there was an advent of technology, right? So somewhere
the shift happened.
The shift happened, and that industry was not able to cope up. So the newer artisans, like there's 7 generational families, 8 generational artisans.
Wow.
So the sons and the daughters stopped coming into this field, and that got a lot of interest from us, like for me as a founder, because I have seen Ittar making from the very start. Now it's much more guarded how you can go and see the making of it. Earlier it used to be much more free.
Okay.
So my grandfather used to take me to these bhattis, and we used to see. Anyway, like, you know, I was growing among Indian botany from like the very start, because my dad was a botanist, right? And so yeah, it was very natural for me, all of this. Like, you know, we used to play in the garden for hours and hours, and we used to collect flowers, and we used to, you know, kind of distill them. That this used to be our childhood.
Yeah. So I think you're saying it started 2 years ago, but I think the seeds were sown way back.
Yeah, way back. And I like, you know, a lot of people. I'm a marketing girl. I was in advertising and marketing for 6 years. So somehow people ask, like, what made you jump? And I don't have an explanation for it. I really don't. Like, you know,
it was a gut feel, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't have an answer for you there, because I don't know how things come around, how memories play an important role. And you know, the kind of perfumery that we're dealing with is based on subconscious. It is based on memories. It is based on intuition. So I don't have an explanation for what made you switch there. But I found Ittar making always very cool.
I think it was your calling, and you found the right time to jump in, because I think marketing gave you enough exposure to start your own venture, because it is required to know.
Also how to position it and how to bring it out to people.
That was, I think, your time to learn to bring back Ittar and brand it in a way that it becomes cool and people start liking it again.
Right.
Very nice.
So now you know, now we are called for headlines to talk about like how Ittar is a trend, and 2 years before, nobody was even talking about it.
Even still, I think it is something that is the wave is just getting started, and it will pick up.
Right.
And I was reading about it. Like, Ittar is something so ancient, and it was so important back in time. People also talk about the benefits of Ittar in terms of emotional well-being and how it can lift you up and help you in your daily life. Can you elaborate a bit on that?
Yes, I'll start with like how what people's perception formed. So people thought that Ittars are very heavy and heady fragrances, which is true. They were these are known as single or maximum double ingredients distilled scents, because either it will be rose or gulab or chameli or khas, and that ingredient will only be distilled. So this is what Ittar was. It was one ingredient, pure distilled scents, and they used to be a heady scent, because the purpose of that was very different. The Indian sense of fragrances has been extremely much more nuanced than just smelling great. It has its notion, it has its hands and legs into the politics of the court, in the art of seduction, and into the religious practices of numerous cultures that we have as well. Ittar were used as a mode of announcement. Okay, so
like
it was used. It was used as by the kings and the queen, and so that everybody in the hall should get to know that the king has arrived or the queen has arrived. So it was supposed to be consuming, all consuming, but we became globetrotters. Our sensibilities changed.
Yes.
And as you cannot undo COVID, you cannot undo globalization.
Yeah.
We got exposed to the Chanels and Diors of the world, and our palate changed. So it is very difficult for me to go and take you to like the king used to use this, so you use this. You will look at the bottle and you'll be like, oh great, I'll keep it on my vanity shelf. But you will go back to your scents which make you comfortable, because I need to cater to your sensibility. So whereas we found that the people have less knowledge on the Indian sense of fragrances, but we also had to understand their problems. That why are they not able to capture this, to be more drawn towards this kind of perfumery. So this was one of the reasons why we started Modern Ittar, which was from the very start we wanted to communicate it to them that we will meet you where your sensibility is. I will bring this form of perfumery to your sensibility. You don't have to move a finger. Okay, I will just invite you to come and experience us. Okay, I will meet you where you are. So that was one of the reasons why we started what we did. And the emotional aspect of it is, as I told you, that this perfumery is highly intuition led, highly passion led, and operates much more on below the surface than on the surface. So these scents are cooked on open flames. So जैसे खाना पकता है वैसे fragrances पकती हैं भट्टी पे.
So there's a process, complete process. Sounds like a I can imagine a distillery going on with a full-fledged process, and I never knew about this.
Yes. So जैसे खाना पकता है वैसे fragrances पकती हैं and open arch पे, like on open flame. And Ittar artisan, if you meet them, and if we have the pleasure and privilege to meet them, they can tell you from a distance that इसमें sandalwood कम है, इसमें rose 1 kg कम है, और लेफ्ट हैंड साइड उसमें हाथ लगाओ तो उधर ठंडा होगा, उधर आँच नहीं पहुंची अभी तक.
So it's their experience and
it's their intuition. It is highly intuition led. It is highly passion led. How you if you eat a meal created for you or cooked for you by somebody who made it with a lot of passion, you can taste that passion.
You know it is different.
Yeah, you can taste that passion. You can taste that.
It's very soul-filling, and you feel complete after having that thing.
Yeah.
It is. I think I'm fascinated with the stories you're telling me, and I really want to go and meet them now because it's so much work they put in.
Right.
And I think, like you mentioned, sandalwood, and there are fragrances like lavender and all, and they are known to lift you up and sort of. They're also mood enhancers. So is that something where Ittar can also play a role in terms of like a tool to help you improve your daily living? Right.
So Ittar has always been a language and a tool. So if you meet the Ittar Saaz, they're called in SAAZ, which is like somebody who is very honed in the art of Ittar making.
Okay.
And if you meet them, in the local gullies of Lucknow and Kanpur, they will just look at your face and prescribe your scent before you even go and say that I want this scent.
Okay. That is very
so I went there and they were like, oh, gussa zyada aata hai aapko, and they prescribed me khas, which is vetiver, which is for
that
cooling.
Must have been slightly vulnerable. That
I was like, okay, I feel very seen, but it is to calm you down. So they understood the aspects of particular ingredients, and especially because these were 1 or 2 ingredients distilled maximum. So you could derive a lot of benefits of this on how it actually makes you feel. So for example, when something happens, you take a certain kind of food, right? Like if you're not feeling well, you'll take you will take long, or you'll take elaichi, you will keep it under your tongue.
That is exactly I was thinking about, Esha, that this to me sounds like a parallel wing to Ayurveda.
Right.
Like Ayurveda is something dietary, which helps you in your diet. Ittar stories and the background is sounding to me exactly like a parallel or a sibling to Ayurveda.
Right. So it is exactly like that because they were and you had parallels because there were ingredients for spices and wood and mango and saffron, which is something that you use also in the culinary world. And also they were used in the scent world. So it had the parallels of Ayurveda in it because they were
it seems to be derived from that.
Yeah, because they were seen as more than something which is a medium for you to smell great.
Yeah.
Smelling great wasn't obvious.
I think smelling great is only what is looked at now.
Yeah.
We are not looking at the background story and the multiple dimensions to the fragrance.
Right.
That is where a lot of people confuse between fragrance and smell.
Right.
I think fragrance goes way beyond.
Yeah, it is multidimensional, as you said, and we start from smelling great. Like you will anyway. You come to my perfumery, you will go back smelling fabulous. But that is not my concern. My concern is how was your experience? What did it make you feel?
What did you take away from that?
Yes. What was your journey with that scent? What memories were evoked? What kind of intuition led you to certain kind of ingredients? Why you chose a certain kind of scent? Because as we were talking about that the philosophy of a fragrance, right?
I by the way love this name to the talk, and I see a lot of philosophy behind Ittar now, and I'm glad that we are having this.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad about that. And it made me also wonder because philosophy is a journey that helps you unlock truths about yourself.
Yes.
On the base, anything which helps you unlock.
It helps you reflect a lot.
A truth about yourself, that is philosophy. right? So can a fragrance unlock a truth about yourself? And an inward journey is a forever journey.
Yeah.
Right?
It just starts, it never
ending.
ends.
It is never ending.
You can only start it. It
Right.
never ends.
It never ends. And it can, at the age of 40, 50, 60, 80, you will still keep on discovering things about yourself.
It is endless.
Because you cannot say that, oh, I'm 60, I know everything about myself now. No, it doesn't happen. You're still discovering, you're still making mistakes, you're still like, oh, I didn't know I'm capable of this.
Yeah.
I didn't know this is my scent, or I didn't know that this is my taste, or I didn't know that I feel nervous in these situations. Like for example, we do the scent of rain, which is Gili Mitti, and it is one of the most celebrated art of India.
And I love the name because it makes me visualize immediately a scene of rain, chai pakoda and everything, and Gili Mitti immediately makes you recall that emotion or a memory.
Right. So when people buy it, like we always are very curious on because we do a lot of exhibitions and we meet our customers on ground. And that is, I think, so one of the best privileges I have. Because
that is, I think, the best way to know your audience.
Yes, because I can actually see them, I can talk to them, and they're so available and they're so committed to that conversations as well. So yeah, we ask them like, that where do you use it? Or so some take it like, for example, just using it before going to sleep.
Oh wow!
Because it helps them sleep better.
And I think that is the biggest issue in today's time.
Yeah.
Sleep is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
That is, everyone is sort of being bothered by it.
Right.
And they're not having a proper way or channel to fix their sleep.
Right. And some use it to layer, their scents. So layering is a very, very common concept in the world of perfumery. And especially because these scents are 1 or 2 ingredients distilled maximum.
Can you elaborate layering for me? I don't know.
Okay, layering happens that how you style your clothes, you style your scents.
Okay.
So for example, the scent of rain is a musky, earthy fragrance, right? So you can put that first, and you can layer it with an oceanic scent.
Okay.
And then
because they both are connected in nature also.
Yeah. And you see the kind of balance that it creates, like the symphony that it creates. And it would be very particular to you also, because these scents take your body chemistry. Okay, and they take your body temperature, they take your body chemistry, and by nature they become signature scents, which is like such a beautiful art.
So they are subject to the person smelling it and the person using it.
Yes. So the same scent on you, the same Ittar on you and me will be a tad bit different. I'm not saying that it would be completely like you can't recognize the scent.
You will perceive it differently and I'll perceive it differently.
Yes, and even it will smell a little different on you because we apply it here on your pulse points. It's the most long-lasting form of perfumery.
Oh, wow.
It lasts for about like 8 to 9 hours.
And it is natural.
It is natural. It's plant-based. It gets seeped into your skin, and it evolves how you evolve in the day. It evolves with you.
So I think it's a good old thing of the good old days, which you are reviving now in the modern time.
Yeah, I mean, I always say that India never got to experience its own fragrant dimension. Like
I think because we were disrupted a bit too much. We were looted when a lot of things happened to India. So I think a lot of these things with the libraries that were looted and a lot of things went away. So I think we lost a lot of this heritage that was evolving, then it was immediately shut down.
True, and we have been doing this from before the Mughals as well, from Indus Valley civilization, like when it was not even documented. Like it started getting more documented with the Mughal civilization, but even before that it was highly used. But India never got to experience its modern fragrant dimension. Even when I ask you right now what's an Indian scent, you will still go back to a gulab or a khas, right? And people go back to those old scents while they are they are our true scents, but our sense sensibilities are also changing. And the same scent needs to have a different dimension to it so that it can cater to our sense sensibility of today. So
and I think also one thing I really like about Ittar now is the fact that it is natural. It does not have alcohol. You can wear it around kids also.
It
will not impact the kids.
Absolutely. So the hands and legs of Ittars are it's so much because it's used in weddings. It's used as a medium to welcome the guest. So when a barat enters, mostly
it's like a gift.
It's kind of spread on them in order to welcome.
To I think also change the aura, because if these fragrances can immediately activate senses, which will change the aura of the place and your vibe.
Transports you.
It
transforms you. And one of the major thing that it does is it grounds you to your present immediately. No other sense has this kind of power. When you're looking at something, you're looking at multiple things. When you're hearing something, there's a lot of noise. Okay. When you're touching something, it could be a lot of senses, that lot of surfaces, lot of things that you're touching. When you're smelling, if you smell, like just stop and smell the flower, stop and smell the roses, it immediately grounds you to the present.
It brings you in the moment. Yes, I agree to that.
And in the present, like it's a highly spiritual meditative practice to be in the present.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, it sounds
and I am seeing this as such a good thing, apart from taking medications and a lot of other things. Ittar can be used in multiple ways to bring these aspects of well-being, for which there are already different ways to do it, but this can be used in your busy life, can be used as a tool for as a coping mechanism also, and also as an evolving mechanism, which will eventually evolve you as a better human being.
So it's just like, it so beautifully grounds you to your present. And in meditation, in spiritual practices, being in the present is the hardest thing to do.
It is the
hardest, and it's also a practice. You practice a lot to be in the present.
It brings you in the moment.
It brings you in the moment, because immediately your senses are captured. It is one of the most, it's a highly powerful sense, right? The sense of smell. It immediately brings you to the present when you're inhaling that scent, and you are transported. It's like an AI shit happening in the background, and you're transported to a different world altogether. And I can never know what world you're transported.
It is very imaginary also, I think, because it is playing with your imagination and emotions, and it is also navigating you through your memories, the good memories, because these are then exciting you about the past memory that you had, and in the moment you'll immediately feel happy.
True.
And connected to a good vibe.
True. Like I love our mythologies for the kind of storytelling they have. Like, storytelling is somehow very, very intrinsic to me, because I have a mother who is a philosopher. And also the brand storytelling is very intrinsic to the brand as well. And if you read any scripture of any religion, right, they take you through a journey. Okay, they're describing a scene.
It's a storytelling.
Yes, they're describing a scene. So they're describing that protagonist kind of walked through the champa flowers, and then there was a deer beneath the mango tree. All of that is being said in order to paint a picture in your mind.
Because that is how humans evolved. Humans evolved with socializing, and socializing involved a lot of storytelling. Kids used to sleep to stories. And so all of us, I think, are subconsciously programmed to stories. So that is why the cinema world also picked up on the storytelling. Good cinema is all about good story.
We are wired for storytelling. Human beings are wired for storytelling. So when you read those scriptures, you read your mythologies, you read any religion's mythologies, it takes you through a journey. It describes a scene. And then you start, when you hear that, okay, the protagonist walked through the champa flowers, it paints a picture in your mind.
You start feeling it. You start feeling it. Sort of seeing it in person.
Yes. And you start having an emotion attached to that scene. Because you start saying, okay, the champa flowers, the smell of the champa flowers, and now what is your association of champa flowers?
This is very therapeutic, because working in the mental health space, I know that this is also used as a therapy and also as learning skills for kids to visualize and to learn and to imagine. And I think Ittar is like a tool that is like a time machine, can take you to a story immediately.
Immediately it takes you. And the pure scents are anyway subjective. Like I don't know what you're smelling. I know the ingredients. I'm offering you my scent, but I don't know what you're smelling.
It is my perception, my imagination, and my experience in past. You don't know anything about it, so I am only experiencing what I am. You are experiencing based on your story.
So I'll give you an example. Like I use a lot of scents at home. So there are incense sticks, there's bakur, There are diffusers, reeds, etc. There are sprays. Everything is there, right? So I have there's camphor. There are a lot of camphor that I use at home. So I have a habit of doing incense sticks in the morning. It's just like opening all the windows and doing.
It's very refreshing.
It's very refreshing, and I keep on kind of exploring new incense sticks, and I'm very I like them. So I had a friend over, and she entered my house, and my house was smelling great. But she entered my house, and she's like, "Can you just stop this? Can you remove this?" And I was like, "What happened? You don't like the scent?" She's like, "No, it just the incense sticks. It reminds me of death."
Oh my God!
And I was like, "Oh," I was very, very surprised by that,
because this is her perception, and her
memories,
story.
How she has whenever she has been in the situation where somebody has passed away, there has been incense sticks, and her association of incense sticks is death.
So she came across to incense sticks in such a moment, so that her association to it is bad, and that is why you were feeling good, she was feeling bad with the same thing,
with the same scent.
Wow.
With the same scent.
Wow, Isha, it is amazing. Actually, I'll admit also I knew nothing about Ittar.
Yeah.
I love the story that you have, and I love this product. I would really love to use it also.
Thank you so much.
And it is so much to know about the Indian history and heritage.
Yes.
And we all should be working on bringing it back.
For sure, and I hope that this conversation propel people to go back, do their research and try to know it more.
Yeah.
And it happens to us when we are exhibiting. Like people stand for 15, 20 minutes.
I'm sure.
Just to kind of hear stories and just to kind of hear more nuances of it.
Yeah.
And that is why we are also so committed to that process. Like I love being on exhibitions on ground, so that I could introduce this world to people.
I think you're doing a great job, and you're bringing a very important thing back into the culture.
Yes.
Before we wrap this up, Isha, I would like to ask you, for our viewers, do you have any advice for them to how to use Ittar for their own well-being and as a daily life tool? Any advice for them?
I would just suggest, see, there are a lot of, there's a simple answer to it and there's a complicated answer to it as well. There are a lot of ways in order to go and find your signature scent. Okay, you can start by knowing your scent type. So for example, you want to know do you like my scent type is more lighter, fresher, floral, a little bit spicy. So I love like a mix of spicy and floral. My one of my favorite blends that we are also making at Kastoor is gulab and pan.
Oh wow!
Because I'm just like I kind of smelled it sometime before in Kannauj, and I was just so taken aback by the scent.
Must be very refreshing.
Yeah, and it was a solid. It was actually a powder form scent.
Okay.
So I could not carry it or I could not buy it as well. But I just like. One of the perfumers was talking to me, and after every 5 minutes I was like, can you give me that dabba, like I need to smell it. Okay, so it depends on just go on a sensory journey.
So explore it for yourself.
Go on a sensory journey.
There's no because you rightly mentioned it is very specific to the person. So there's no straight answer to it. The ideal way is to go and start exploring and sort of don't give up until you find your fragrance.
Right. And people come with a lot of scent types, and you definitely you'll find scents to your type, but you'll also find scents that are not your type that somehow you end up using because you don't know what they're making you feel. And that is a beautiful journey to go on, because a lot of even in food, a lot of things that I eat now is like, oh, I never thought that I would eat this, but I'm liking it so much because I never thought that I'm this person.
Lifestyle has changed and the awareness has changed. So I think the choices have also eventually changed.
So once you go explore, have your scent types on your fingertips. Yes, I want oceanic, I want musky, I want etc. But go and, if you have some time in hand, and if you just want to go on a sensory journey, go explore.
And also, I think the advice you mentioned, like the earthy smell helps people, some of the people it is helping to sleep. So maybe try these things, try sandalwood, try lavender, try earthy smells.
Try camphor, try all of that. Like I love the smell of camphor, like it immediately lifts me up.
So you can start your day with camphor.
Yeah, I burn camphor at my house like almost every day.
So these can be, I think I am personally going to try and use these things, because I feel like camphor, if it is lifting you up, I'll start my day with using camphor. And I would love to use this earthy smell before I sleep. So at least I can use these as a tool for in my busy schedule to
Right.
help me engaged
Right.
and still help me live a good life, like
Right.
live a life where I can use these as a tool.
Right.
And I think these are the tools from the past.
Because I think so the future is about going to the past, and we live in a cyclical time. Time is in a cycle, it's in a loop.
Yeah.
And a lot of like what new brands are doing now are kind of going back to the roots of and exploring, having new dimensions of it, because that is what we can do. Like in order to propel to the future, we can have more futuristic dimensions of the past.
We can use the knowledge from the past
Yes.
at least. Like we
Yeah.
can bring these things and go back to the roots,
Yeah.
get that learning which was
Yeah.
lost, and
Yeah.
bring it back in today's time and
Yeah.
use that now, because there was a lot of wisdom in that
Yeah,
time.
yeah, and make it a new dimension for today. Like I'm not saying just bring the past as it is to today,
Yeah.
but make it according to today.
Derive from it
Yeah.
and make it something for today's
And
time, so
what
that
a
which is
beautiful-
acceptable.
What a beautiful blend that would
Yeah,
be, just
that
like
would
a
be
signature
amazing.
blend.
Amazing. Great to have you on the show, Esha. It was
Thank you
amazing
so
learning
much.
about Ittar. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure. And I hope that it kind of encourages and inspires and propels people to kind of go on a sensorial journey for themselves,
I'm sure.
and kind of smell everything and just see what it does.
I think
for you.
this is a different dimension, and everyone should explore that.
Yes, absolutely.
Great. Thank you
so much. Thank you.
थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग टिल दी एंड. प्लीज़ कमेंट करके हमें बताइए आप और किन टॉपिक्स पे पॉडकास्ट देखना चाहते हैं. हम उन लोगों को अपने शो पे बुलाएंगे और मेंटल हेल्थ के बारे में इन डेप्थ डिस्कशन करेंगे. प्लीज़ लाइक, सब्सक्राइब एंड शेयर दिस विद एटलीस्ट वन पर्सन जिनका परफ्यूम्स या इत्र में बहुत इंटरेस्ट है. प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब अस फॉर मोर सच इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्टेंट एंड थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग.